All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on MQL5, the language that lets you turn your trading ideas into a fully automated reality. We're going to break down the absolute essentials, the constants, enumerations, and structures that you have to know to bring any strategy to life. So, what is MQL5 at its core? Well, think of it as a high-level language, super similar to C++, that gives you the power to automate financial trading. It's the engine that lets you translate all that complex market analysis and all your trading rules into code that the MetaTrader platform can run for you 24/7. And what can you actually do with it? Honestly, pretty much anything you can dream up for your trading. You can build your very own technical indicators from scratch. You can automate entire strategies, develop unique tools for analysis. You can even build complex systems that monitor the market and shoot you alerts. It's the whole shebang. To really get a grip on this, we're going to look at MQL5's predefined building blocks, kind of like different Lego kits. First, we'll see how you can control the visual stuff, your charts and objects. Then we'll dive into the logic, the brains behind the analysis and trades. After that, we'll unpack the data structures that hold all your information. And finally, we'll put all the pieces together to see how an automated strategy is actually built. Okay, first up, controlling charts and objects. This is all about telling the program how to manage the visual workspace where all the magic happens. You know, MQL5 gives you this incredibly precise control over every little thing you see on your trading chart. So instead of you having to click around manually, you can use these things called predefined constants, which are really just simple keywords to change anything you want, from the chart type to the color of the grid. And the powerful thing here is just how simple it is. You don't need some complex command. You want to switch to a line chart? You just set the chart mode property. Need to turn on auto-scrolling so the chart keeps up? Yep, there's a constant for that. These keywords make it so easy to create a dynamic, responsive interface for your tools. But it's not just about how the chart looks. You can also programmatically draw things, analytical objects, directly onto the chart. This is perfect for, say, automatically marking your entry and exit points, or highlighting an area of interest, or just getting some visual feedback from your strategy. And just like with the chart properties, you do this with simple, descriptive constants. You want to draw a trend line that your strategy just found? Use obj trend. Need to pop a little arrow on the chart to flag a buy signal? Obj arrow buy is your friend. Think of these object constants as the vocabulary you use to visually communicate what your program is thinking right on the price chart. Okay, so we've handled the visuals. Now let's move on to the core logic. This section is all about the commands and the rules that actually power your analysis and, of course, your trade execution. So think about this. If you're building, say, a moving average indicator, you have to tell it what price to average. Should it use the closing price of each candle, the opening price, maybe the high? How does your code even know? Well, the answer is something called an enumeration, or enum, specifically enum applied price. Now, enumeration sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just a named group of these constants. So in this case, it gives you simple keywords like price close or price open to tell your indicator exactly which numbers to crunch. This is how you aim your analytical tools at the right data. And of course, once your analysis leads to a decision, you got to do something. These constants here are basically the verbs of trading. They are the commands you use to tell the trade server what to do. Place a market order, set a pending one, modify stop loss, you name it. Every single trading operation starts with one of these actions. So we've got all this information flying around. We need a way to keep it organized, right? That's where data structures come in. Just think of them as standardized containers or packages that hold related bits of data together so they're easy to manage and send around. The most fundamental of these is the MQL tick structure. Every single time the price of an instrument changes, the server sends out a new tick, and your program gets this information packaged up neatly in an MQL tick structure. It's got everything you need to know about that exact moment: the time, the bid and ask prices, and the volume. This is the raw fuel for any real-time strategy. And on the flip side, you have the MQL trade request structure. Honestly, the best way to think of this is like a digital order form. When you want to send an instruction to the server, you fill in all the details on this form: the action, the symbol, volume, price, stop loss, take profit, and then you send this complete package to the server to be executed. It makes sure your instructions are crystal clear. Okay, so we've seen the visual controls, the logical commands, and the data packages. Now let's put all of these building blocks together and see how they create a single automated trading workflow from start to finish. So here it is, the life cycle of one automated trade. First, your program gets that live market data in an MQL tick structure. Second, your analytical logic kicks in, using indicators that you've pointed at the right data with enum applied price. Third, based on that analysis, your own custom code makes a trading decision. Fourth, you package up that decision by filling out an MQL trade request structure. And finally, you send it off using an action like trade action deal to execute the order. It's that simple. And that's the flow, from the instant that data arrives, through your custom analysis and decision-making, all the way to the final execution of the trade. MQ5 gives you a complete, structured toolkit for the entire process. These constants, enums, and structures, they're really the essential grammar of automated trading. By understanding these fundamental building blocks, you're not just learning to code, you're learning the language of the market itself. So the real question is, with all these new tools in your belt, what are you going to build first?